say this every time, but man, getting out of town is just, well, it's just doggy dog. I'm north of town now, and it's calmed down a little bit. But so I'm heading up to a town called Withlacoochee, and Coochie is the old Indian word for river. At least for certain Indians in this area, anyhow. You have the Withlacoochee, Coochie, and all that. And whatever's before it means something river. I don't know, I think Withla means, I forget, I think it just means big, like big river, big water, or something like that, I forget. But anyhow, so I'm going to this town. It's an old railroad town. It still exists, but there ain't much there anymore. But it used to be a stop on the old, I think it was Atlantic Coast Railroad, or the Orange, I think it was called the Orange Belt Railroad. It's a railroad that formed St. Petersburg, a dead end down in St. Petersburg at the time, and that's what created the town, St. Petersburg, Florida. But anyhow, it's off the beaten path now for sure. People live there, a little town there, but not much else there. But there is a little boat ramp connection to the Withlacoochee River. Now I'm going by water south on the Withlacoochee to find the confluence of what's called Devil's Creek, which Devil's Creek is kind of the center of the drains of Devil's Creek Swamp, the north end of the Green Swamp in the Withlacoochee State Forest, big tract of land. And the reason is because we designed a bridge for the U.S. Forest Service, a bridge over Devil's Creek where the Florida National Scenic Trail crosses Devil Creek. And historically, it's been generally a knee-deep crossing up to, chest high, depending on the weather. But the Florida National Scenic Trail is kind of a winter trail, and typically you're crossing it during the dry season. But either still, you're going to get wet. So hikers people that are traveling through, not just day hikers, but they would plan. Hopefully, they'd plan where they're going to cross that, because they're going to be wet for the rest of the day. But and it could be cold. It could be 30 degrees or 28 degrees or 34 degrees, depending on when you cross it. But anyhow, so with a little bit of funding that came through, the U.S. Forest Service passed some funds through the Florida Trail Association, and we got this bridge built. So I'm just going to go look at it. It's very remote. So I think they hired, a lot of times they'll do these bridges with volunteers. They got a few like master builders in the volunteer base, or they might get a contractor with some supervision, and then augment that team with volunteers. This one I think was built entirely by a Forest Service contractor. It's real remote. We got cooperation from the Southwest Florida Water Management District trying to establish seasonal high water. There's not a lot of data points in this area, so they could use the data points. So we used LiDAR images, which I don't even know what it stands for, light detection and ranging or something like that. It's kind of like a laser radar, but it just gives you really clear ground contour images, and it's scalable and all that. So we had some idea of what we were doing. We didn't have a dedicated land survey, but we did have those LiDAR images, and we did have the elevation images, or elevation data was brought in by SwiftMud. So I'm just going out here to find it. I've got a couple of points that I pulled off of Google Earth by downloading kind of waypoints from Google Earth images, and then transfer them to a handheld GPS. So I'll follow that, try to get down to Withlacoochee, find where the Devil's Creek enters, and then paddle as far as I can up Devil's Creek, but probably end up just hiking up the creek, pulling a canoe. I got the Slipstream pack boat. It's a 12-foot Kevlar carbon canoe hull, really, but it's set up like a kayak, so you sit in it down like a kayak, and I use a kayak paddle. They call it a pack boat. It's just super light. It's not particularly durable. Scratches pretty easily, and sometimes I wonder about it getting punctured on cypress knees if I put a lot of weight on it. Yeah, so I'm more careful with it than I am with a plastic rotomolded kayak. But that kayak's about 74 pounds. This thing's like 22, so I can easily get it over my head and get it loaded no matter how far I paddle. But anyhow, so we'll just take you along and then see if we can't find that bridge. And when I get there, I'll be able to pin it with my GPS, and I'll kind of know where it is. We had coordinates to that area from the Forest Service, but I'm gonna go in there and just get it myself and see how they line up. Because from the Google Earth and the images, it's just a giant green dome. I mean, you can kind of see some breaks through the trees where you can kind of see where water might be, but that LiDAR cuts right through that stuff. At least we got the ground contours from that. But anyhow, so here I go. I'll just take you along the way and see how it goes. All right, check in later. Okay, so the water's real low. I mean, feet low. It's kind of cool because this area you'll get some lime rock, and there's a big lime rock shelf right there. Really cool. So this is with the Coochie River. I'm in the town of, town of Coochie, but that's what they call it. That's the boat ramp, but it's real remote. It's real remote in here, so I'm just gonna head down. I'm gonna head down this river about probably a mile and a quarter, I think, and try to find where the Devil's Creek comes into it. All right, well, I'll be going against the current, which is good, and we'll just see how it goes. So I've got my new, my E-Trex, what's it called, Vista. Finally died beyond repair, so I got a new 32X, so I'll be using that. I got these points also, download them off of Google Earth, and a couple of gyrations, you get it to your handheld, and I'll just keep following that until I can actually find it and pin the actual locations. But so we'll just see how it goes. Check in with you later. So I'm seeing some blue colored blazes on the trees on to my left to the east here, and that's what's called I think it's called the low water trail. So you can get down to it when the water's low. I mean, it's probably 5 feet above the water level now, but, so in the winter time you can take that trail down close to the river. Most summer and late summer not so much, but it's been a particularly dry year. I follow the scientists that gauge this river. Nice pass. And you got a pretty decent stream flow, about walking pace going that way to the north. But that's just because we had some decent rainfall over the last few weeks. So this area got about 3 inches. It always gets more than anywhere else. So 1.5 inches in Tampa. So that's over several days. But so it's flowing, but it's not enough to. We got it flowing again, but it's not enough to, get it up to its usual level. But it's kind of nice because you can see, completely see the entire bottom. It's kind of neat to see the stream bed with lime rock and the clays, the kind of the hard pan solid stream bed that's permanent. That's larger rock right there. There's some rocks that stick up. I don't know what they're made out of, like some sort of chert or something, but golly, it's cool looking. But you kind of see what the aquifer is made out of by looking at this stuff. Little punch holes all through like Swiss cheese. But so yeah, I'll just keep on going. It's got a pretty good current. I mean, I'm paddling like hell, barely moving. So we'll be doing this for a little while. We've got about a mile of this to go, so I'll check in with you later. Glad I'm going against the current. It's tough, man. It gets real narrow and really gets moving, so I get the coast back. But I've probably only gone about maybe 3/4 of a mile or so. But I'm looking for a tributary. It's going to be to my left, paddling upstream. You got to be a little careful because this river does a lot of S-turns and stuff like that, but its tributary is going to be to my left, pointing upstream. And one of the problems is, like for instance, that's a tributary in higher water, but it's not, you know, you just got to kind of look for it. It's going to be more substantial than that. I don't know if there's going to be water in it. One of the problems is I get a lot of these points from just looking at bird's eye view from Google Earth and then, you know, picking a waypoint out. But you can see the bank is probably 6 feet over my head right here. So the water's really down, and I don't know if there's gonna be water in Devil's Creek. So either way, it'll be shaped like a tributary. I'm looking for a tributary off to my left. You can see now there's nothing but high bluff. So I'll just keep on motoring. I don't get you any later. I don't have the junction, the confluence marked. It was covered in tree canopy, but I know that the place I think the bridge is located that I do have marked, it'll be northeast. So I have to go, you know, past where I think the bridge and the confluence flows to the southwest, and then I can look for that junction. I think it's gonna be an obvious junction. Look at that flat cut on that tree. Every now and then you'll come across something like that. I mean, humans did that, but why and when and all that. They did a lot of logging in here, but I just can't figure out why they do something like that. But anyhow, so I'll just keep on moving. But I'm looking for a tributary that's taking me back to the northeast, and I'll have to pay attention to what direction I'm going. But about a 40-degree deflection from whatever route I'm on. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay, there's kind of what I'm talking about. That is probably Devil's Creek right there. So there's water and it's not really flowing. So I'll probably just stash the pack boat here and hike it. I'm gonna go just a little bit farther. I'm gonna go just a little bit farther just to check it out, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it's definitely a tributary. It's a substantial tributary. It's just not flowing right now. It's just not enough. There's just not enough water in the system to get it to flow. But I'm gonna go a little further upstream just to kind of watch how my GPS behaves towards the bird site. But I'm pretty sure that's it. You can't really tell. The problem is I can't really tell the direction that it's taking because it just sort of S's off towards the east. No, actually, towards the southeast, but I'll check that out anyhow. But all right, here we go. Well, I'm glad I kept going because this is much more pronounced of a tributary. Okay, that's the Withlacoochee, and but you can see this tributary. This is going to be Devil's Creek, and it goes to the northeast, just like I need it to. So I'm glad I didn't get out and just start walking back there, even though they'd probably met up. But still, like, at least I can paddle for a little ways on this one and just see how it goes. I'll check in with you later. Right through the woods, there it is. So I'm gonna go up there and get a couple pictures of it and mark it. I'm gonna try to find a benchmark that the scientists set for us that they said that they couldn't find, but the constructor said they couldn't find it. But I'll probably find it. They don't try that. They don't always try that hard. But anyhow, so yeah, I'm gonna check it out. That's pretty cool. I found it. It's way back in there, man. Is the old footpath where the boards were all knocked up during the last hurricane, just knocked off of there. But that's how the hikers used to get across there. And then the path goes up around. So that's what this is all about. I mean, you don't find this creek dry. So you're gonna get, you're just gonna get soaking wet right here. All right, so let's go check it out. There's the orange blaze of the Florida National Scenic Trail, and this is the Devil's Creek Bridge. The Florida Trail is one of 11 National Scenic Trails. So, like Appalachian Trail, Continental Divide, Pacific Crest Trail, Arizona Trail. Well, this is our trail. It's known for being a winter hike, just like this time of year. Very few bugs, water's way down. But what a substantial crossing. I showed you a little footbridge they had before. This thing's 100 feet long, and I'm real proud to have designed it, and they just did an outstanding job of building it. I'm gonna try to find that benchmark, and then I'm gonna mark this thing and probably eat some lunch on it. I'll check in with you later. Well, here's the benchmark. That's not an ideal setting. It's pointed down like that. You usually want to have it up at a pretty decent angle. It looks like somebody may have stepped on it, and that's the problem with a benchmark like that. A railroad spike would have been much better, but it served its purpose. I'll see what kind of condition it's in. I don't know. That's been there a good long time. I don't know if it is bent down, but it wasn't at all hard to find. I guess it's even on a tree with a blaze. I don't know why they couldn't find it, but there it is. So. And that actually is that's the seasonal. I think that was near the seasonal high water mark. So it's supposedly every year it gets that high, but you can see I mean, when you look through the woods like this, you can kind of see that dark line. That's, when a great big hurricane comes through this area, that's where this water is. This bridge will be completely underwater. These little tufted titmouse are just so upset by me being here. Must be a nest, so I'm going to move a little bit. They're just so upset. Oh my goodness. Loud birds for so little. red-shouldered hawk. Didn't like me being there, I guess. I'm gonna mark this thing and get GPS and get some photographs and just try to ask a few people what in the world this thing is. It's just so odd. I mean, it's obviously man-made, man-altered. I just can't figure out what for. But check this thing out. The way the thing's carved up. Go check it out and I'm gonna get it on the GPS. Let me just look at this crazy thing. It's got carved rectangular sides, flat sides, like it went through a sawmill or something. Look at that. And then right here it goes back to its natural piece of cypress, obviously, but just a good size. I just never seen anything. Look at those right angle cuts. Back into that. It was, they fashioned it for something, but I just can't figure out for the life of me. Look at this. Look at the saw mark right there. Good sized blade. I just can't figure out what that would be for. If it was just seems intentional. I don't know. I think there's some people that will know. I'll contact the scientist that looks after this river and see if he knows. But that's just an odd thing. That's just really odd. But yeah, I don't know. I hope somebody knows. All right, check in with me later. Well, that's pretty cool finding that thing. That was a great little trip too. Especially coming back just with the stream, you can just coast and contemplate. But super quiet. Anyhow, so I'm heading on out of here and head back to town. Check in with you later.